So do I need to explain this again, or can you start directly with the Python, or do I need to brief this
No, it will
before?
be,
Yeah, I think it's
yeah,
better to,
better to break.
yeah, better to brief, right? Okay, then software basically, in A-level ICT also we have this concept called abstract model of information. Abstract model of information means, so you input data or unprocessed things and then process it and then generate information. So that's how it works. That is, this is called abstract model of information. What happened to the information? So basically, you input it, process it, and get meaningful facts. And this is the way that you process information. So this, when you process information, there's something again in the first chapter. There's something called golden rule of information. What's that? Can you remember that golden rule of information?
Yes, sir. That when the time the information released, that's the highest point of its what do you call
Yeah.
valuable. The time
Information
it
is
decreases.
information has its highest value at the creation time, but with the time it is diminishing closer to zero. It's going down little by little, going down, and then the value of this information will be less. And then after some time, the information can be used again as input to process some more information, right? Okay, so then, and the other hand, we learned something like information is called the world's most valuable economic resource nowadays. It's not fuel, it's not gold or platinum or nothing else. So it's information. Why? Because, so if you have information, for an example, if you have full information about this COVID-19 pandemic, and if you have full information about how to produce antibody or kind of antivirus to protect or heal this disease, then so you can imagine the value. So it is unimaginable, right? So it's not like gold, not like some other metal or physical material. So the world's number one person. So from the richest, who's the richest person in the world?
Bill Gates.
Yeah,
So
Bill
I can
Gates.
say
So it was Bill Gates, but it was changed
just
recently. But
right.
anyway, so let's take Bill Gates. How Bill Gates become that much rich? So just because of information, right? Actually he don't want to sell something like gold or platinum, or no, it's not producing cars, nothing else, no BMWs, no iPhones, nothing. But what he does, he produces information, right? So that information is most valuable. For an example, think that you have the software Windows, but still if you don't have the key, what will happen? You will use a pirated copy. Horror copy and if you don't have the proper key, if you are not purchased the proper key, still if you have genuine Windows with you, but after 30 days it will become a pirated one. If you still use, you have to track it or do something, maybe get fake key or register
Then
it in a
OEM,
fake way. Huh?
OEM,
Yeah, OEM or whatever. So but anyway, so it needs a key, no? Windows key, right? The
Yes.
key, for the key you have to pay. If you're using Photoshop, for the key you have to pay, right? If you're using Photoshop, for the key you have to pay. If you're using maybe if you're using uh, movie editing tool, Cinema 4D
premium.
or 3D Max or AutoCAD or Maya or whatever, you name it. So most of the time you have to pay for the key because that information is real valuable. And the Third World War, it has begun. So now it's going on, but no one actually highlights that because, but everyone is fighting. Everyone is fighting every day. Everyone is fighting every day. You can just go to Google, right? Let me show. You can just go to Google and then search Norse map. So search Norse map, Norse, Norse. Sorry. map, search nose map, and then you will see these links, various links, various links. So these various links, so you can just go through these links and see, right? So I'll access one thing. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can see.
So here you can see people are fighting. Fighting what, with what? Not with weapons. They are fighting with different type of information. They try to stop information, they try to get information, try to hack information. You can see the stop malware types. They're fighting with backdoors and this band in botnets, Trojans. Here they are fighting with
Exactly.
each other. US is attacking Europe, maybe China, and China is attacking Japan. Japan is attacking China. Likewise, Indonesia is attacking someone. Africa is also attacked. So these are live attacks, right? So
Yeah.
for the day, for on this day, so we just began the day. It's 32 million attacks, 32
Oh,
million attacks per day. So this is live map. This is taken from the sensors. So in the routers and all, the internet or network equipments, they have sensors. Through their sensors, they have taken this and displayed. But
So why not?
still, even okay, make them what attack that cut. Still, you see there's an attack. You can't prevent. Why?
Because it's
mm,
Can you
like
unplug your server or
intangible.
can you unplug your machine and move away?
oh,
No.
right.
Then again, the attack is successful, no?
Yeah.
Your attack is done just for make sure the information is prevented also. This is called information denial of service attacks. DOS attacks or denial of service. You want to stop a service. You want to stop. For an example, if you stop Microsoft service per day, assume the loss that then assume the loss. If you stop Facebook
Yesterday,
for one day,
YouTube or Google, there was an issue, right?
yeah, YouTube for one day, and Facebook also. Facebook, you can see the few footage. So from one attack, Facebook was down for 20 minutes. But just see the loss that they had at that time. So likewise, so this is not like losing gold or losing your pocket or losing some dollars. Not, it will directly affect on the money value. It will directly affect on the money value if something happened to those information. For an example, think that overnight all the accounts in Facebook is gone within a one night. Can you imagine the loss? A lot of companies are paying for their advertisements. Even from Sri Lanka, they are earning more than million per month, right? So all the countries are paying for the advertisements and all. Nowadays, all are doing the advertisements in social media because so no way to do advertisements. So physically, it's difficult to do advertisement with this pandemic, right? So information. So remember that the value of information. So this is why when it comes to software, it's critical, right? So let's come back. So the next point, information is produced through this abstract model. This is called abstract model. If you want, just note down. But I think you know this abstract model. Then the second thing is value of information. So you have two things to know: golden rule of information, and the second one is information is a value. Most is one of the most valuable economic resource. Resources, one of the most valuable economic resources. Information is one of the most valuable economic resources. So therefore, so you know the software works with information. Software work in the process of generating information. It's input, so it's about input of information, processing of information, and producing information or the decision making for the decision making. So software ensures reliable way, software systems must ensure a reliable way to input, process, and output information. Therefore, it's very critical to create a software. It's not overnight work. It's not. So you cannot create Windows-like operating system within one night, right? It's very critical. Why? It's very critical. Windows is used in banks. Even World Bank use Windows. WHO use Windows, right? They might use. So I don't know, but you can just search. So anyway, in Sri Lanka, if you take, so all the banks are using Windows systems, no? What happens if some vulnerability is there or some issue is there in the Windows which compromise the data and information which saves inside that Windows? What will happen?
You get lost.
Yeah, the bank entire the company will get lost. Not the not just Windows. Windows will also lose their credibility, but not just that. Then the company will lose money. So that's the thing. So even that can go to a legal case if it is compromised and the customer details are stolen or some customer details are altered, bank details are altered. Then so that will be a legal issue. So company will bankrupt, right? So please know that is why this SDLC. So the need of SDLC. Why you need SDLC? Why you need systematic development life cycle? Or that is not systematic development life cycle, but anyway, why you in software development life cycle or systematic way of producing software? Because you know producing information is critical. Is critical. Producing information is critical, and it is one of the most valuable economic resources. Damage or weakness in the process will affect the economy, and not just economy, even it can affect your life or even the life. Why? So assume the software system is used inside MRI machine or CT scan machine. Assume that this is inside a medical information system. Then what will happen? Assume that this is inside a scanner, CAT scanner or PET scanner, whatever. What will happen? So if it produce, okay, if it's saying that you have a cancer, so assume that the error rate per 100,000 tests, one record is error. That error record saying that you have a cancer where you don't have. So what will happen? So then,
Stress.
yeah, that is affecting your life. You have to do a heart surgery, whereas you don't have to do such. So probably if so in the medical systems, accuracy is required up to 100%, not 99, not 99.999. It is, but anyway, practically it will not happen. But anyway, it is also think about the PCR tests. So you know that nowadays they do PCR tests. Sometimes it produce wrong information. So the next PCR test will say, no, you don't have. But by that time, you are in a quarantine, right?
Then you would have already got corona.
Yeah.
That's why medical system is very important to maintain the accuracy. 100% accuracy is like 100% accuracy is required, but it is not possible to provide 100% accuracy because we have human errors. We are not 100% accurate because human beings are developing software programs. So we are not even 100% accurate. So how we can make a man-made product 100% accurate? It's impossible, but need to at least make like so at least 1 million එක එකක්. At least for 1 so you have made like that 99% 99999 it's like accuracy is needed, so then the affection will be low. Okay, so now we know why software is needed. Software is needed because of these stories. So people are fighting for information. So value of information, golden rule, and people are fighting. People are fighting for information to produce. So to break this thing, to break the abstract model, people are trying. That is called denied of service attack. To break the information process, people are trying. People are fighting. So that is virtually the Third World War. Okay, now you know the story. So let's begin with the solution. So the solution given was software development life cycle or the system development life cycle, which is a systematic methodology to create a software. A systematic methodology to create a software. So if you need, please write down the steps quickly. So these are there in your syllabus, but the thing is sometimes place to place it's different. I'm not referring to the syllabus. I'm generally telling, right? I'm generally telling, but so general one is applicable everywhere in the paper, in the syllabus, or in life, anytime, anywhere you can apply. So first of all, the first step is you have to identify the problem. So if you have not identified the problem, your solution will definitely be a wrong solution. So you have to first identify the problem. Then the requirement analysis. Then you have to find out even problem. Okay. So let's go to our history. So in ancient era, people used to live in small places as groups, right? So then they used to find they used to eat meat, or sometimes they used to do cultivation. But when they had kind of very primary needs. They need food, water, sometimes a shelter, and they want to reproduce their generation. They wanted to reproduce their generation. Those are the needs. Those were the needs. But after some time, they found when they were reproducing, then when their population is high, they found that the food required is not available for them. So the problem was food not available because of population is high. So then what has happened? Food not available. What they did? You know about the history, no? What they did?
Ma- Mass cultivation.
Yeah, before cultivation, actually they had to move. No, they had to move another place. First, they tried to move another place and find food. First place, if you don't have කියන සංචාරක ජීවිතයක් ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ඉන්න තැන කෑම ටික ඔක්කොම ඉවරයි.
Altogether.
Right.
Altogether, right?
Right. Okay. Then they had to move to another place and start doing the same process again. But after some time, again that food was over. Then again they had to move to another place. Right? But when doing that, so here requirement is the problem is not having enough foods. The requirement is moving to another place. That's why the problem and requirement might be different. Problem was not having foods. Requirement, you want to move to another place. To move to another place, you have to find out different ways, alternatives. That's why this feasibility analysis comes. To move to another place, you can fly, maybe you can walk, you can swim, you can jump from one tree to another tree like monkeys. But the most feasible way was walking.
Walking.
Yes. There were alternatives like they could have fly, they could have swim like fishes, you know. So they could have jump from tree to tree. But they found the easiest and safest way is walking. So that is feasibility analysis. You find out from among the alternative what is most suitable for your requirement. It's called feasibility study. So then after that they had to plan. Maybe they did their planning using their mind initially because they didn't have any kind of material to do that or tools. So they had a plan. So whether to go right side, left, east, or west. So whether to turn or go straight. Sometimes there are obstacles, right? Sometimes dangerous animals and poisoning trees are there. Therefore, they had to avoid that. Likewise, they had to plan the key people involved and do. So this is a teamwork. Remember that this is a teamwork. One person cannot do this basically because many ideas is required. Ideas from many parties, many aspects that is required. So then in the system designing, they did the planning place. After that, they have created the actual route, maybe walking path to move from one place to another place. Initially, the key people in the tribe, key people in the tribe, they started moving. Why? Because it is unsafe to send children, maybe pregnant people, adults. It is quite of unsafe, no? So key people moved and tested this, whether this can be used by the other parties. After testing, they did the handover. So then everyone used that path to move. So that can be done directly or parallelly while being in the same location. You can move, or directly you leave the place and go. Or pilot. Some people will move and try to. Uh, some people will move and try to get food from some other area. That is pilot. Pilot is a sample. Parallel is you do the both. That means old system and the new system. You do both parallelly. Direct means you leave the old system and start using the new system immediately. So that is the deployment
So,
start or deploy. Yes.
so phased is also there, right? Phased.
Yeah, pace. Yes. So yes, pace implementation is also there. So I just mentioned the general pace means one pace at a time, one portion at a time.
Yeah.
That can also be added. Yes, that's true. Then review and maintenance. Review and maintenance means after some time, even due to rain, maybe due to not using the particular route, so there can be trees, bushes, and all. So they had to clean that and recreate the path. So that is required. But after some time, the next generation might think this movement, this walking path is not convenient. We can't move with our animals. We can't move with our goods. We need better, wider path. The new problem for the generation is not food. New problem is so inconveniency of moving. Right? So walking path is very narrow. Cannot move with their animals and their goods. So need to go 2-3 times to transport. That is overhead. The new problem is overhead. So it's not going to solve. Actually, this problem is never ending. That's why you, first of all, actually, in my time, in my school, I was using DOS, disk operating system, then Windows 3.1, then Windows 95, then Windows 98, then Windows Me or Millennium Edition, then Windows XP, then Windows Vista, then Windows 7, then 8, 8.1, and now it's 10. This is never ending, right? So remember that this never ending. It's not going to be end up with Windows 10. There will be a new version, with new set of problems. So a new set of problems will be artificial intelligence, thinking like human, or thinking machines, machines which can think and help you. So now that's why the Cortana is added to Windows 10. That's why. So anyway, Siri is already there in Mac. Here you can see it can think and help you if you ask. Okay. Siri, who's the father of computing?
Charles Babbage.
Right? So that's why Siri is there. Similar to that, in Windows, you have Cortana. You can ask from the computer. It is capable of processing natural language. Capable of processing natural language. But still, you can give instructions in English. Maybe in the previous, next versions, future version of Windows might support other languages. You can even communicate using your mother tongue to your computer. Right? That's why this problem or this life cycle, this is why there's a cycle. It comes to the beginning and start from the beginning and then move down. Understood the concept? Understood the big picture?
Yes, sir.
Right? So I think this you have to remember as a story rather than just by hearting these things, because so it has a relationship among these steps. So basically your brain works with relationships. If a fact is isolated, or if a fact has one fact to access one access path, then in the examination you will not be able to get that fact exactly sometimes. අර ෆැක්ට් එකක් ඇක්සස් කරද්දී දැන් ඔයාගේ ඔළුවේ තියෙන එක ෆැක්ට් එකක් ඇක්සස් කරද්දී ඔයාලට තියෙන එක පාත් එකයි නා. If you have just one path, ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලා නිකන් පාඩම් කරලා මතක තියාගෙන. අපි හිතමු මේ තියෙන ෆැක්ට් එක. This is your fact in your brain. And this is the path to access the particular fact. This is the path to access the particular fact. You have only one path. Then what will happen? In the examination, if you miss this path, you will miss this fact. So please try to generate facts or paths as much. Don't generate facts actually. Try to generate paths as much as possible. So if you have many paths to access the same thing, then you will get more chance to remember these facts. For example, think that, assume that, okay, one day you are late to your school and you got a punishment. Most probably, you can remember the things you learned within that day because you have now some other situation which is related to that. You got punishment and at that day you learned about sets. Mama sets lesson එකට පරක්කු වෙලා ගියේ. එතකොට මට ගණන් සර් ගහලා තමයි නැත්නම් එකක් ටොක්ක්ක් කනලා තමයි නැත්නම් බැනලා තමයි set lesson එක කියලා දුන්නේ. හැබැයි ඒ set lesson එක, that set lesson you can remember more than the other lessons because you have some other fact to access that. That's the brain style. Therefore, always try to relate these computing terms to real life and things that you do regularly, because then the possibility to get that information, possibility to fetch that information will be greater than the ordinary studying. Right? That's why I gave a real life scenario and some real life scenarios, third world or like things. So I asked you to go to nose map and see, because in the exam, I know that exam, they will not ask nose map. They will not ask how denial of service, how many denial of service happen per day. They will not ask that. I know that. But I just wanted to make sure you remember this fact through various ways. Understood? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah.
Right. So if it is too slow, please let me know, right? So I have to come with, maybe I have to start with, start slowly, then only I can do faster way. That's why I'm doing.
Yes, sir, no problem. Yeah. Okay.
If it is too slow, please let me know.
No, sir, the speed is good. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So I got a
Yeah.
call. Okay. So in case if we got disconnected, please reconnect. So not now. So after maybe 9 minutes, it will disconnect because
Okay.
there's a Zoom limit. So after that, reconnect using the same link, right? So then, okay, then after that, we have to learn. So today, actually, we are going to learn about which space? Problem definition, requirement analysis, feasibility, system design, or development. Which space that you are going to learn today?
Let's go from the beginning.
Let's go from the beginning, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Basically, yes, you can go from the beginning. But the thing is, so since we have to do the more practical part, so I'll not skip. I'll do from the beginning, but I'll just touch these parts and come to designing and development. Right?
Okay, sir.
I'll touch this part, and so okay, there are basically when it comes to programming or the development, there are two main concepts. So when it comes to programming, designing, development, there are two ways of thinking about a program. The one way is procedural programming. You focus on the process. What's going to happen in the program, you have to focus on that. For an example, think about a banking system. Think about banking system. Then in banking system, you go to bank and open an account. Then you come back and deposit some money. After some time, you just withdraw. You can do the transfers. Likewise, the things happening in the bank system, you can think. So that is called procedural programming, but that is not really expandable. That can be expandable, but it's harder to expand procedural programming because, so you know that you did few processes in your early ages when you when you're in grade 1, grade 2, you did few processes. Then when you're in grade 10, 11, you did more. Now you're in A levels and you can do more. When you are doing, when you are going to universities, you can do even more. And when you become parents or when you are doing jobs and all, that is even more, right? So anyway, processes, the time to time with the system evolvements, with the system evolving, the processes are adding and adding. But think about the people before 10 years, still still Yashin was there. After 10 years, again Yashin is there. So after again, just after maybe in the future, after 10 more years, again Yashin will be there, the same person. So that is the second concept. Don't think about the process. Process can be added. Think about the people who are participating to this. Think about who are participating to this. That is objects and their classes. And think about their message passing. This can be automatically added to the particular profile. යශයෙන් කියන ප්‍රොෆයිල් එකට එක වසරේදී ඇඩ් කරලා තිබ්බේ ඒවා උනම් දෙක වසරේ තව අලුත් ටිකක් ඇඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන්. In grade 2 you can add something new. Grade 7 you can add some more. Grade 10 you can add some more, and grade 12 you can add some more. But same people, right? Same format, same people here, same format, same people, and they do different message passing using different processes. So that's why the second concept, the object-oriented programming, is bit advanced than the procedural programming. It support it is easy to expand the system, or it is easy to cater future needs, and it is easy to build the relationship between objects. And the processes, of course, you don't need to focus so much on processes because that will anyway automatically there in the system. Okay, in the second system, this class. So better write down this. Class is called blueprint or template for a set of similar type of objects. For an example, account. Account is a class where it has account ID, balance, type, account holder, interest rate, and it can do processes like deposit, withdraw, view balance. In future, they can add something more, but it will not change the structure. Basically, it's still the account class, but you can add maybe calculate interest. But still that class is account, the other methods are not affected. These objects are there, these features, attributes are there, and these methods are there. Only thing is a new method added, that's all. That's why the second method is more useful in nowadays, in today's program, or conceptually, when it comes to new methods, new programming techniques, the preference is given to object-oriented principles. But in Python, basically, we are going to learn both. We will first learn the procedural programming. We will first think about the processes. And that's the majority. Most of your codes, most of the codes available in A-level syllabus is related to procedural programming, because that is where you have to start. That is where you have to start. But anyway, so remember that there's a concept called object-oriented programming. Right? That part you have very few. Not much. You have very few, but still we can learn that. Right? Please highlight the two concepts. This is a short note. This is not a very long note. This is a very short note. I just want to do more practicals. That's why I'm not highlighting much or not.
So is there any other books which will be helpful for A level to purchase or something?
Books. I think better you use and do the practicals, because so books, I don't know. There are books. Yes, that's true. But better you focus more about the implementation. That's my advice for the most of the students, because 80%, closer to 80% of the questions will come from the implementation, the practicals. You better dedicate a machine or computer and practice. That is more, definitely is more than 60. See, the practicals. They will ask from the practicals. So closer to 30% from theories. So that's why I said that 30% you can remember without much effort. You can remember. I'll give you the techniques in future, how to remember theoretical lessons. So in case I found a good book, I'll recommend you.
Do you have
Sorry?
yeah, okay. Like, do you have your own syllabus or something like that?
Syllabus?
Yeah, like your own something else.
No, no, of course, I didn't develop anything. But anyway, I have a YouTube channel. I have uploaded all the videos and all which is done for the other students. That's e-library. So
Oh,
if you wish, you can
that's
go
good,
and
sir. So what's the
E-library.
site again? E-library.
e-library, right?
Yeah, it's there.
So then that I have. So basically, you can refer to the particular channel, and if you wish to learn further, you can learn things.
Like, can you put the link
Yeah,
in the
sure.
Zoom chat?
So in YouTube, it's the channel name I have. I just started with my initial letters DNS86. Channel name is DNS86
Oh,
in YouTube. Okay, so let's discuss this further. What is class? Basically, class is a blueprint or template. So means you know that, okay, for an example, student is a class. You know that student ID is there, first name is there, middle name is there, last name is there, address is there. But if someone asks, okay, what is the address of the student? What is the first name of the student? You can't tell a value because this is a template. In template, you don't have values. But if you give values, for an example, account ID is 001 and you have 5,000 balance, it's a saving. It belongs to say thus, and interest rate is 0.08. Then you have values. When you have values, it's called object. When you have the template only, you call a class. But when you have values, when you initialize that, when you instantiate that, that is called object. So understood the difference?
yes.
Yes,
Basically,
sir.
student mobile phone is a class. But if I ask what is the brand of mobile phone, you can't tell. But if I show a mobile phone, this mobile phone, what is the brand of this mobile phone? Then you can tell a brand. So mobile phone is a concept, basically. In mobile phone, you have phone number, phone type, warranty period, screen size. So likewise, you have many things. And you can take calls, you can answer the calls, you can go to internet. So likewise, you have methods. But it is just a blueprint concept. But if you actually see a mobile phone, you can tell what is mobile phone number, what is the mobile phone brand, the warranty period, screen size, camera, number of pixels in cameras,